Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your own tutor YouTube channel. Today, we are going to talk about the local process of GIC. Now, in the first part of this video, I spoke about the GIC process, as in how you can actually create an account with the CIBC bank in Canada. Now, after they issue you their instructions letter, you will take a few documents that I've already mentioned in the previous video, and you will initiate the process from here in Pakistan. How to go about this process, I will tell you all in detail. So, and I'll also share with you my experience because I did it from Karachi in Pakistan. So, I will share with you my experience as well. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Okay, so what you are gonna need is a bank account in a Pakistani bank. Now, this is important because there are many banks, and unfortunately, not many employees in the bank know about the GIC process. That is because they have less exposure, or maybe they haven't worked in the remittance department, and the rules are changing constantly, so they are not willing to take any kind of risks when it comes to remittances and international transactions. So you will need to be proactive on this one. My recommendation, this is just based on the research and also my personal experience, because I chose Habib Metropolitan Bank, that is near Do Talwar and Teen Talwar, that is the area in Karachi, and it's near the Nadras Express Center, that branch, Habib Metro branch. So I straight up went into the bank. I opened up the account, and I didn't have any account before initiating GIC payment. I got the money deposited in it. It was just above the required amount, just above, as in 1 lakh extra I put in the bank, just so that conversion rates and administrative charges, after all that, there is some amount left in the bank. So I opened the account. As soon as I received my checkbook, I initiated the process. I took the documents that I mentioned in the previous video. So if you haven't watched that video, I would highly recommend that you start off from that one. Um, After that, you should know that there are basically three methods to transfer money from Pakistan. Now, first one is, and most people are confused about it, they say that you need to have a foreign currency account. Most of the bank employees, when you go to them and you ask them that I need to send the money abroad for my tuition payment or for GIC, first of all, they would not, they would be reacting as if they don't even know about what GIC is. And you will need to explain then, and you should need to show them the instructions letter from the bank. And reluctantly, they might take the form and fill it out, but they're going to create a mess there for sure about it. So it's always good to have some relative or some contact in the bank beforehand, before you're going for your GIC transaction. Okay, so for foreign currency account, one thing is important, that they tell you, the bank employees would tell you, that you need to be a filer. Now, for example, if there's a person who has just completed his intermediate, and maybe they're not of age and they do not have a foreign currency account, they're not a filer. So how can they have a foreign currency account? Now, if they don't have a foreign currency account, then they say that you need to have a joint currency account, foreign currency account, with your guardian, who could be your parent, your siblings, mother, who it could be anyone, right? So uh, this gets a lot more confusing when you visit the banks. You need to be very clear from the outset what the process should be. And after watching this video, you will feel confident that the process, indeed, it is not that big of a hassle as it is made out to be, unfortunately, in Pakistan. Now, they say that for foreign currency account, you first need to become a filer. What is a filer? Basically, you need to have income tax returns, and you need to go to an advocate or a lawyer in Pakistan, and they ask them that I want to become a filer. And these days, the process is also available online. So you can go to the website of FBR and become a filer using their online portal system. But a lawyer would do it for you after charging their fees, which is around 5 to 10,000 rupees. and that is in Pakistani rupees. So they can do it for you. They'll ask for your bank details, your properties, etc. They'll ask you for those details, and after that they would file it on your behalf and give you the income tax number. Then when you become a filer, you're eligible to open a foreign currency account. But I did not go through that hassle. I chose the second one, that is the Swift remittance money transfer through Pakistani rupees. Now you need to remember this name, and there are two things that you need to make sure of when they'll give you a form. If the bank employees, when you get to that process, and if they understand you fully, then they are going to give you this form, foreign remittance form, and you need to make sure and inform the employee of the bank that please make sure that the transaction is not transferred or converted into a US dollar. It should be converted into Canadian dollar because your payment is being made in Canada. What happens end up being is that when you transfer the money in US dollars, uh, Canadian banks actually refuse to take into account that money and they reverse the transaction. Now, it is a bit stupid. I understand that it is annoying, but this is the fact, and I actually saw many people suffering from it just because they did not inform their banks that the amount should be in the Canadian dollars. So Habib Metro actually did that very swiftly, and I must say, I did go there through a reference of mine, so the process was a bit easier for me. But I actually tried it myself beforehand, and that's why I'm sharing this experience with you. Okay, so and make sure that the spellings, the name spelling, and your the cast and everything is written properly, and the writing is legible. So take some time to fill out the form. All right, and basically they use that form to create a remittance request with the State Bank of Pakistan, and they use that form as your information, and they provide the evidence that you are going to provide them, the bank, the local bank, and they're going to use that, and they're going to upload all the documents in the portal. Will create an online key. The bank is going to create that for you, and they're going to share the username and password with you. That's what happened with me as well. So they filled out a form. Sometimes they would just fill out a form and do the uh, rest of the process themselves. But if they might ask you that you need to go online on their app in the Android phone or Apple phone, whichever you have, download their app, and then fill in the details that you have provided in the while filling out the form. So you're going to put the same details again. You might need to upload the documents and then initiate the transaction yourself from that portal. Otherwise, if they give you a form, paper-based form, you just fill it out and they can do this process for you. But make sure that this is being done, because once you get the instructions letter, you are going to have a limited number of days within which you need to make this transaction. So I would highly recommend that you already have an account with the bank from which you are sending your remittances. You need to be able to do this process swiftly, because once the instruction letter is issued, otherwise you'll have to generate another instructions letter. That's what happened with me, because there was a limited time in which I had to do this transaction, and by that time I did not have the account opened. I did not receive my checkbook in time, so the process got delayed. And though I had to actually get a new letter of instruction from the CIBC bank, and then I had to go back to the bank from where I initiated the transaction, that is Habib Metropolitan Bank. Okay, the third method is wire transfer, and I don't really know much about it, but you could go to wire transfers like Western Union, Flywire, or any others. I'm going to show you a forum that is really helpful, and I actually got clear about most of my doubts from being interactive and active in that forum, and the community there is really helpful. There are many in similar situations, so they would help you out. It's not going to be a problem for them. So this is it from the slideshow. Now I'm going to show you some documents. Okay, so if you write, can I send GIC through my father's account in Pakistan, you're going to end up having this GIC problems in Pakistan thread. Open it and you're going to see this. So here people are asking, this canadavisa.com website is a very good website, and they start a thread and people start responding. You see there are 10 pages. So people would be posting their queries. You can also register and log in and post your queries and get your answers. And the community is really helpful there. See, there are the people are helping each other out here. Okay, so one more important thing. For example, if you go to another bank and they refuse to initiate the transaction, what you can do is that you can show them this document. This document is already there. There's a person here who has actually shared this document. See this one, Bilal Meher. This guy has shared this document, and I think it's really helpful. And he says that you need to check paragraph number 38. Now, when I opened this document, I came to paragraph 38, that is on the page 22 here, and it talks about foreign exchange facilities for studies abroad, and it tells that you can actually send up to 70,000 US dollars or equivalent in other currencies per student per calendar year. So in 1 year, actually, there's a limit that you can send 70,000 Canadian US dollars. That's a lot of money. All right, so that's more than actually 1 lakh Canadian dollar. So when you go to the bank, just show them this document that this provision is available, and this is a legal document. This is from the State Bank of Pakistan. It's from their official website. So the banks can actually initiate this process after reading this. Some of the people, the managers, are not clear about this entire process, so you need to show them this document, and there are all the relevant details available. Sometimes they might say that no, but this you need to convert the currency. PKR cannot be converted into dollars and all, but it is doable, and State Bank of Pakistan has its own rules in place. So, for example, they say that up to US dollar 5,000, the banks can initiate this transaction, but after that, they will forward it to Director Foreign Exchange Department, State Bank of Pakistan, head office Karachi, and it takes around 2 to 3 days to get it processed from there. And immediately when they give their approval, the director from the State Bank, when they give the approval, the amount gets debited from your account, and it is credited into CIBC's account within a few days. So that's how the process works. Make sure that you go maybe through a reference, or when you go to the bank yourself, even just make sure that you take this document and all the other relevant documents, and clarify the process, especially to the people who are in the remittance department. Okay, just ask the bank manager or bank information counter that where is the remittance department. Those are the guys who can actually help you out, because they are constantly dealing with remittances on a daily basis, so they would know. And since this is becoming common now, and GIC has been in place for almost about 4 to 5 years now, so many of the banks, especially in urban areas like Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, there would be many people who must be initiating these kinds of transactions. So bankers would have a good know-how of this by now. But if they don't, then you can actually cite these and clarify it to them that the transaction can be done without being a filer, and from your PKR account the amount gets converted into Canadian dollars, and then it can be transferred. And also one more important thing, in the form that you're going to fill out, that is the remittance form, there's a specific name for it. I don't remember it right now, but I'm going to share with you in the description of the channel. So that form, when you're filling it out, there's going to be a column that you need to provide your Canadian address. Now, since you don't have a Canadian address in Canada right now because you're sitting in Pakistan, so you would be providing a local address. Now, what happened was that when I was filling out the form, when I filled in the local address, they said that no, you need a Canadian address. And I said, how can I have a Canadian address when I'm here in Pakistan? So it was difficult for me to actually convince them, and then I showed them a video where a guy was telling that no, you need to fill it out having a local address. So I initiated a transaction using my local address, and then the process went really smoothly. And let me show you guys what I received in return. So this was the welcome package. I have hidden the details. So after all of it is done, you're going to receive this welcome package from the bank, that is CIBC. They say that you need to bring your passport, copy of this letter, a valid Canadian study permit that's going to be issued when you land in Canada, a letter of acceptance form from a Canadian school, or student ID. So when I bring these, my GIC is going to be received and they are going to credit some amount immediately, and after that on a monthly basis they are going to give me the amount. This was my letter of acceptance in the Memorial University. I'm going to cover more about Memorial University in the coming videos. Um, so this was my experience letter that I shared with you. I will be sharing this in detail with you. After that is investment advice letter. So this is the amount that I will be receiving when I land there, because I had applied with my family. So they said that you are going to receive immediately, you're going to receive about 9,000 Canadian dollars in my account. So these are the terms and conditions and all of these. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and please like, share and subscribe to this channel. I know that many of you actually watch the videos, but please do subscribe and share and give it a like, because the YouTube algorithm really loves it. All right, thank you. See you in the next video.